Hey guys, and welcome back to another Flyff video. 2 videos in 1 week. What is going on? Damn, that's some fire content, right? I would hit the like button right now if I were you, Kappa. No, but seriously, there's a new update coming to our game that we love so much, but it's not really coming, it's just in the works right now. So the Korean website flyff.com, the origin of all Flyff versions, basically, announced today on the 8th of July that they are working on different things in the game. So a few bug fixes, a few different I'm sorry about that. A few different things that are coming to the game and that they will fix in the future, and we will just go through them. It's just translated by Google Translate, so I apologize in advance for any grammatical or spelling errors and stuff like that, because it's just from Korean to English. And yeah, of course there are some mistakes there, that's for sure. And yeah, let's just jump right into it. So at first, they will fix an issue that costs sigil rune, I'm not sure if that's the correct word for that, to be triggered by reflex damage. Or reflect damage it should be. Yeah, see what I mean? That's exactly what I meant. As a result of internal discussion, it is determined that many customers are experiencing discomfort due to the problem and will fix the problem. So apparently the thing is that when you have reflect damage in your equipment, for example the Christmas dinner set, the 2015 version, or I think even in the 2019 version, probably in both, there's reflect damage as a set effect. And if you have a Baruna weapon with like a one-hit rune, an ancient death rune, or an ancient HP rune that recovers your HP, or that by a small chance can kill monsters if you're lucky just by fighting them. If you have reflect damage in your equipment, those effects can also trigger. So if you get attacked and don't attack the monster back, but you have reflect damage in your equipment, you can still trigger the rune. So basically that's what they meant here. And apparently it's a bug, so that shouldn't be happening. So I don't know, I think since they released the first Baruna weapon set where you could use those ancient death runes and stuff like that, this was happening. So this bug is like 8 years old or something like that, and they now address it. So I'm not sure, but maybe they didn't know that it was a thing. Yeah, but they will fix that. And then another thing that's actually live right now on the webs and servers, it was in the maintenance today on the 8th of July, so it is already live. And it is fix an issue where skill above a certain level could be used after level down. This issue is currently being tested internally, and in some other countries like Germany, France and North America, the update will be conducted before Korea. It is determined that there's no problem with the system, it will be applied in game. So the last line is referring to the Korean version, because as I just said, we already have it and they don't, because they had a bug or anything like that, which didn't allow them to update their game. But our game versions, the German and the North American, which are the same, besides the language, we already have it since today. So I think the video is coming out tomorrow, but still, we already have that update. So power boosting with the level 20 Arcanist, which many people used in recent years, is coming to an end, or at least they made it a lot more difficult for them to use the power boost system. So that is already live right now. That's not future, not anything that will come in the future. Then Guild Wars Championship reward change, that is not really important because it just applies to Korea and there's actually no info there, because they just say they will change to more powerful rewards and yeah, that's it. And it's just for Korea, so not sure if there's anything planned for our servers. Then, point 5, level expansion and new dungeon addition. The highest level of the character will be expanded from 170 to 190. And a new instance dungeon will be added in the game. New instance dungeons are now more powerful monsters than the top rated Mars dungeon, or Mars dungeon. Yeah, so there will be a level expansion and expansion rather by 20 levels, which is really insane because the last time that was happening was from 130 to 150, which was a really big update back in the day. And now they are the really difficult to reach level 170. They would top it by 20 levels, which is kind of insane if you ask me. But I mean, if there's a new instance dungeon with even more powerful monsters than top rated Mars dungeon, I think that could be also really interesting. And the only thing I'm wondering here is what they exactly mean with instance dungeon, because, well, first it's Google Translate, so I'm not sure if that's even the correct word they used in the Korean version, because sadly I can't speak Korean. So I'm not sure if they mean an instance dungeon like like the wilds, like Aminus and stuff like that, or if they mean something like Mars dungeon, which is not an instance dungeon, just a regular dungeon where you can go in and out like you want with no cooldown and stuff like that, and monsters will be respawning and stuff. So I'm not sure what they mean there. But yeah, it's exciting, I think, in my opinion, and we will see when it comes out. So, then add new Baruna equipment. New Baruna equipment will be added according to level expansion and new dungeon addition. So of course if there's a new dungeon at a new highest level, then there will probably, or most certainly, also be new equipment for those levels and for this dungeon. And yeah, that's exactly what's happening. They added new Baruna stuff, or they will be adding new Baruna stuff. So our Yggdrasil stuff won't be the best anymore. So we all have to redo our equipment, sadly. Then, point 7, add a Baruna grading system. The Baruna grading system will be added to make Baruna equipment more powerful using the same class of Baruna equipment. So I'm not sure what they mean by that, because basically they're just saying if you're an Arcanist and you use Arcanist, Yggdrasil Arcanist armor, which is by the way the only, or you use Baruna Arcanist armor, which is, by the way, the only armor an Arcanist can use, because all Baruna weapons, weapons too, and sets are restricted to a certain class, so you can't choose, like, you can't run around as an Arcanist with a mentalist set, so that's not possible. So they basically just say, if you use the equipment for your class, which is the only thing you can use, then it will get more powerful. So I have really no idea what they mean by that, but it sounds interesting, and it's definitely a new thing that we don't have right now. Then point 8. Applying a piercing card to Baruna weapons. We plan to modify the piercing card to use Baruna weapons. However, we are currently discussing how to deal with a weapon with an existing rune, since the system has confirmed that the rune and piercing card cannot be used at the same time. Which I refer to the rune which I stated at the beginning, this ancient death rune and stuff like that. If you already have one of those in your weapon, at least that's what they're saying here, is if you already have one of those in your weapon, because it's also a socket for your weapon, it's a rune socket, so you cannot add the socket cards, or the card sockets rather, for your weapons. That's what they're basically saying. So there's a problem with that, and they are currently dealing with it. In my opinion, they should just remove the ancient death rune socket and stuff like that, because I think the card sockets would be way more powerful and way more useful than the stupid one-hit stuff. So yeah, but we will see what they will change in that area. And then the last point, application of Baruna weapon, two-handed weapon synthesis, I don't know what that word is in English, system. We plan to prepare for the application of the two-handed weapon of Baruna weapon. Wow. Okay, damn. Google Translate. You beat yourself there. But what they're basically saying is you can combine two-hand weapons while using a Baruna weapon. So currently you cannot use the weapon fusion system with Baruna weapons, and in the future they will add it so you can use it. So you can combine two-handed weapons when they are both using the Baruna system, which is really much needed. And yeah, I'm thankful for that I will do that in the future. So yeah, that wraps it up pretty much. If you have any questions or if anything is unclear because I choked with my English, you can write a comment down below and ask for it, or discuss just in the comments what you think of the changes they're trying to add in the future. One last thing in the last text there, last piece of text there. It's all just in progress, and more changes may come in the future. Nothing here is really certain, so they can still change it up or add more or take something away, I guess. And it also will take a long time for these changes to really appear into the game. So basically this is just an announcement for Korean users mostly, because you actually are not really, not really allowed, that's probably the wrong word, but if you know the Korean internet, it's really hard to get into. You just need a proxy server or VPN and stuff like that. So it's really hard to get in there. So they probably just made this announcement for their version of the game, for the Korean version of course. But, as it was always the case in Flyff, when they get an update, we get that update really soon, because they just want our money. Exactly. So we will see when this update comes out. I'm guessing this year will be pretty much impossible. It's possible that it comes out this year. It's just July. So if they're working now 4 months straight on this update, it's not that much stuff. They're just changing one dungeon, adding a few equipment things and modifying our weapons a little bit. But they are not adding like completely new stuff. They are just, or not that much completely new stuff. So I think it should be possible for them to get that out in a pretty short amount of time. But in reality, I'm thinking about next year, summer next year. This update should be, or all these updates should be released. And yeah, but that's just my guess. I don't know when it comes out. We will see about that. Exactly. So yeah, as I said, write down below what you think of the update and what you think about certain things that I mentioned here. I wanted to say one thing, but I can't put my finger on it right now. I forgot it. Damn. Yeah. Doesn't matter. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it a lot. I would also appreciate it if you could hit the subscribe button and hit the like button down below. And if you have any other video wishes or anything like that what I could address in the future in my future videos, then you can just add that down below as well. And other than that, I'm out for now. Thanks for watching and peace out.